Hey there, I'm Kristin. I'm back today to share my September budget with you. We are really low on our budget this month. I think just the culmination of not doing the best job budgeting all summer long, definitely some overspending with a short paycheck and cash flowing our recent vacation just kind of has me feeling a little frustrated and a little broke in the beginning of September. So I'm just gonna show you today our entire September budget, our real numbers, and also walk you through how I find a little bit extra cash in our budget when we're really struggling with a super tight budget. I also have a free download available for you guys at the end of the video. I'll let you know how you can get it. So let's hop into the budget. Okay, so here I am in my September budget, and just a quick reminder that you can get this budget template yourself. It's in my Etsy shop. I will leave a link down below and also a coupon code so you can get it at a discount. Okay, so getting started, I just want to let you know that for some reason my forward-facing camera is being weird, so I'm not going to have the normal little picture of myself I usually have in the corner. I'm sure you won't care. I want to start off by saying that this month is super low for us. We have a lot going on. We had a lot of things come up at the end of last month that weren't necessarily in the budgeting video, so I just feel like our budget is running really low right now. Also, if you caught my Instagram story, I spoke about us increasing the money that we are giving to our church each month. We're going to start increasing it incrementally, probably trying each new amount for maybe 3 months. And this is mostly to kind of ease my husband into it. He is happy to start giving more, but he would like to definitely go little by little. He's still a little bit more unsure of it than I am, and I really appreciate him compromising. So just wanted to throw that out there before we get started. So I'm going to estimate our pay for this first half of the month as $1,900. And if you haven't seen my videos before, I estimate our income because my husband changes every single paycheck. Majorly changes. If you also have a fluctuating income and you have a hard time figuring out how to budget consistently with that income, I have a video I will link up at the top in the cards where it gives you 3 different options for budgeting on a regular income, and I think that will definitely help you fine-tune your budget a little bit more. So go ahead and check that out. For the second half of the month, I'm going to put our estimate at $2,000, and I just know that his paycheck's a little lower here, and the second half of the month it should come up a tiny bit. Now, I've already been messing with some of the numbers in the budget this morning because I was trying to do our cash envelopes a while, and the reason I did our cash envelopes this time before my husband got paid is because we had a lot of cash sitting in our to deposit envelope. And what that is when we make a purchase online, or maybe one of our children purchased something and we kind of front them the money and they're paying us back, I put that money in a cash envelope that's titled to deposit. And instead of running it to the bank each time, I just hang on to that unless it's a large amount of money. Then I'll go put it in the bank because I don't like having that in my home. But that doesn't happen very often. So normally I will just keep it in the to deposit envelope, and when it's time to do our cash envelopes, I will just use that instead of take the money out of the bank. So I worked on our cash envelopes this morning, and if you watch my videos each month, you'll probably notice the cash envelopes being a lot lower this paycheck, and that's because our budget is really tight. So I transfer $708 each pay to our mortgage account. That goes in our Ally savings account, and then our mortgage is taken out of there automatically each month. I do not have our new gas or electric bills for this month, so I am simply estimating using the same bills we had last month. So that shows you $27.33 in natural gas, and I think I'll actually move the electricity over here. I believe I paid it a little bit earlier last month just because it happened to arrive earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and push that back to the second half of the month. Same thing with water and sewer. I did not get our new bills yet. I did get our internet and our phone bills. So they will be paid in the first half of the month. That is $126.65 for internet, and cell phone came in at $167.25 this month. Trash, I will transfer $29 to our savings account because our trash is billed on a quarterly basis. Here you can see I'm putting $25 into our house maintenance envelope in the first half of the month and the second half of the month. I budget $75 each half for gas for our cars and $25 in our vehicle maintenance envelope in the first half and the second half. Groceries, I usually budget $400 a month, and I just split that between the first half and the second half. Restaurants will be $30 in the first half and the second half. Sam's Club, this is funny, this is only $5. And the reason it's only $5 is because that's kind of what I had left after I divvied out all the cash envelopes. And I know we're going to need a couple things from Sam's this month, so I just thought I'd throw the extra $5 in there. Walmart, I'm not sure if I will place we usually do a Walmart order once a month. I haven't necessarily been doing that because I've been splitting a lot of our food shopping between Walmart and Aldi each week. I like to do the Walmart grocery pickup, and there's a couple things I get from Walmart because our Aldi has really been upping their prices lately. So I'm going to keep that in zero for now. We have no sports or activity fees this month. Again, I only have $2 in kids commission because that is what was left from the cash. So I just threw the $2 in there. Kids stuff, I put $20 in the first half, $25 in the second half of the month. And I talk about this envelope a lot over on my Instagram, but this is now at zero because we just used it for some bowling and some donuts at the end of the summer. And I need to start adding some extra money in there. So that's what I'm going to put in for this month. So these cash envelopes here in this gold section is just pulling from all of the categories I'm already mentioning as we go through the expenses. So I'm not actually going to review all these separately. I did mention we're upping our charitable income to our church each month. We did give $100 a month for probably the past little over 2 years. Beginning this month, we're going to up that to $150. And I'm excited. There's a teeny tiny part of me that is a little hesitant because things have been really tight for us lately. But, you know, part of giving is I believe you reap what you sow. So I do not believe that we have to wait until we feel like we have the money to give. I want to give now, and I do believe that God will continue to provide for our needs. So I know it's only $50 more, but in some ways that feels like a lot. We will continue to give our $29 that we give to World Vision each month. Going down here, emergency fund, that's blank. We probably will not be able to contribute to our emergency fund again this month. This is actually coming up on a year that we've been working on baby step 3, that we've been working on this emergency fund. It's been an awesome year being debt free, but we are a one income family. So it's been very difficult trying to find extra money to put to our emergency fund. We had some extra money this summer, but we cash flowed our vacation, and that was important to us. I wouldn't change that. I wouldn't change that decision. So we're just going to keep moving forward and doing the best that we can. We did start contributing $100 to my IRA every month because it is very small. So $100 will go to that. Stash, I mentioned last month I stopped contributing to Stash. I will still pay the monthly $1 maintenance fee until I decide whether I want to close that account altogether or just let my money sit in there for now. We have nothing for sinking funds right now. Very shortly, we're going to have to start saving for Christmas, or we might decide to just cash flow Christmas over the next couple months. And in that case, I would just break up my shopping pretty much as I would do normally, but I would just only purchase what we had the cash for at that time. Haven't made a decision on that quite yet. Our auto insurance, $127 goes to our savings account, so that's also due this month. I will take all of the money out of our savings account and make that big bi-yearly payment. $36 and $24 will be taken out of our savings account. So we do transfer that in every month, and then it's auto debited from our savings account by our insurance company. I think my husband's is actually taken out on a quarterly basis and mine's taken out on a monthly basis. Our pet insurance is auto drafted from our credit card each month, so we just take this $54.50 and pay it on the credit card. Our pet section, I do need dog food, so I will take that $30 and probably go grab that today because it's almost gone. And then we have $25 we'll be putting in our vet care envelope in the first half and the second half of the month. That envelope is down to zero because I don't know if you saw this on Instagram the other week, but my pets were pretty sick after our vacation. Cat litter is auto drafted. We have it on a service that comes each month, so that is $23. That will come out the second half of the month. Now, our personal money is a little funky this month as well. My husband wanted to get a pair of sneakers, so he purchased those online a couple days ago, and he actually used the money from this month's allowance already. So he gets zero this month. And I am getting $60 now since I stopped putting some in stash. But since we're so short this first pay, I'm only going to take 10 the first pay, and then I'll take the remaining 50 the second half of the month. My husband's gym comes out the second half of the month. We have some birthdays coming up, so I have 50 coming out this pay and 75 coming out next pay for gifts. Nothing in lunch money this pay, and $10 next pay. This is what I was saying. I needed to cut a couple envelopes the first half of the month. So things that aren't completely necessary, like lunch money, I would cut. Doctor medications, $20 first half of the month, $30 second half of the month. Toiletries, putting 10 each half of the month. I actually just went and purchased a whole bunch of stuff, so we're probably good for a little while, but that envelope is now empty. So I'm going to start contributing to that again. As I mentioned before, it seems that everybody needs everything at one time, so I'll usually go spend $20, $30, and that way I just pull it out of here instead of having to take it out of our spend or our groceries. Spotify comes out the first half of the month. That's my husband. He pays for that with his personal money. Each month I explain that we take $100 for what we call spend, and that $100 includes restaurants, miscellaneous, and entertainment money. And I decided to just combine the spend here. I decided to combine the miscellaneous and the entertainment into the $70, and I do still have the restaurants broken out separately up in the food category, which was $30. So that equals $100. If you look over here under the cash envelope section, that automatically adds those categories. So it shows that we have $100 in the first half of the month and the second half of the month for spend. And if my husband's paycheck ends up coming in even shorter than I anticipated, we will probably just cut the spend by half or by however much we need to. And I already told him that we just really need to be very meticulous with our spending this month. Clothing, I put $20 in the first half and the second half. And again, my kids just did get some clothing for school. I need some clothing for some business conferences I'm attending this month and next month, but that will come out of my business account. So again, if I need to cut something, I will go ahead and cut these clothing amounts for the month. So that totals all of the expenses for the month. This transfer to savings just totals the amount that I need to throw in our savings account for those couple of expenses I mentioned above. This is done. Here I just put a couple notes that I paid our car insurance this month. This just allows me to look back quickly and see when things were paid so I can plan ahead of time for the following year. And here I just made a note as to why my husband doesn't have any allowances. Again, if I need to look back for any reason, it just gives me a little reminder of what's going on. Our current balance in our emergency fund is just under $6,200. As I mentioned, I probably will not be able to add anything to this month, but my fingers are crossed and I'm hoping for the best that maybe my husband's next pay will come in higher than we are planning, and maybe we'll be able to throw a couple $100 in our emergency fund. Coming up here, this shows you the difference here. And again, this always is showing negative, and here it's showing a positive. So it pretty much evens out to 0 for the month. Some of these expenses, depending on when the bills come in and the due date, some of them I could possibly end up pushing to the second half, and everything would equal out better to 0. I'm sorry if that's confusing for you if you're new to budgeting. Ideally, this difference should say 0 because we do operate on a 0-based budget. Just the way I put everything in the sheet, sometimes these numbers show as a little skewed, but if I did it all on a monthly basis instead of splitting it in the first half and the second half of the month, it would even out to 0. So those are our numbers for September. Tell me in the comments down below, have you done your September budget already? How's it looking for you? Did you stay on track this summer? Did you go over budget or overspend like we did this summer? And I did promise you a free download. You can go ahead and check the description box down below, and I have a link to a free spending tracker you can download and print out from my website. I am going to be tracking every dollar we spend this month. That means whether it's a pack of gum, a soda, a grocery trip, putting gas in my car. I just printed out this tracker, stuck it on the fridge, and we are going to go ahead and track every dollar that we spend. The point of tracking your spending is so that at the end of the tracking period, we're going to do it for the whole month, but you can choose to do it for as little or as long as you'd like to. At the end of that tracking period, you have all this data that can give you a really good look at your spending habits. So if you're just getting started budgeting, or maybe you've been going over budget month after month and you're not sure where you're going wrong, head to the link down below, grab your free spending tracker, and join us to track your spending in the month of September. If you guys have any questions at all, please let me know down in the comment box. If you like this video, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you next time. Bye!